As the pandemic rages on, we struggle to get back to normal, such as with schools and education. While we pivoted to virtual learning early on and out of necessity, the in person classroom model is the goal. You see it in the news, it's what everyone's striving for. With me today is Brant Insero, the Senior Director of Education, Training, Certification, and Standards with ISSA. Today, we're going to dig into what the cleaning industry can do to help get students back in classrooms. Brant, welcome to the program. Share with us some thoughts.
Thanks for having me. I really do appreciate you and all that you're doing with Straight Talks. I just really wanted to quickly highlight, there's three things that are going on right now in the United States and most likely around the globe. First and foremost, COVID-19 is real. It's still prevalent with all the different variants that are occurring around the globe. Number two, building occupants have a higher expectation of the level of cleanliness inside of the facilities. Number three, we really don't know if anyone is 100% immune.
Yeah, these are good points, Brant. I can't help but think and wonder when we look at what's happening now with the pandemic, and we might compare some history lessons like 9/11, how things changed. What do you see with that?
It's a good point, Jeff, right? When you think about historical events that have taken place over the years, for us, probably one of the most recent things was 9/11. We lived through it. We endured it. We saw the pain that it caused all around the world. But what happened is that people's processes and protocols and structure shifted and changed forever. So there was lasting change. But what really did not change is perception, short-term memory. And when we think about COVID-19 and what's going to happen in the future, is that the same thing is going to happen as 9/11. We're going to change our structure, our processes, but there's a few things that are not going to change, and that's the human element. When somebody walks into the built environment or a facility, such as a K-12 school district, ultimately they're judging their environment around them by two of their primary senses. One of those is sight, and the other one is smell. So when we step back and we start thinking about this as custodial managers, facility managers, building service contractors, the question is simple. What can we do to change the perception of the occupants in the building? What can we do to make them feel more secure? How can we help them ultimately feel confident and safe inside of the school districts? So Jeff, the reality here is as the building occupant is actually walking through the K-12 school, whether it's faculty, staff, it's a visitor, if they see a mess on the ground or on a wall, they're going to assume that the facility is not up to expectations. Now they're judging the facility based on their own expectations. So the three images that we're going to just quickly show you, one of those is a mess on a wall inside of a middle school cafeteria. We also have another image of a windowsill inside of a classroom. And the third image is inside of a middle school bathroom about halfway through the day. And all three examples show different variations of old dirt and new dirt. And ultimately the occupant, whether again, the student, the faculty, the staff, or the visitors walking through the school district, their perception is that the school district is dirty. What we need to start doing though is helping our building occupants understand that it's not just cleaning for appearance, it is cleaning for health. And I think that our world is transitioning. We see this, we know this, but the reality is it's now time to put the money where our mouth is.
So Brant, this is probably where we could say that the rubber meets the road. Tell us what the cleaning industry can do, especially management, when it comes to changing this perception, especially as we try to get back to normal.
Yeah, Jeff, I think of four key bullets to talk about here. And a lot of this is about how you're managing the situation. And the first one is all about transparency. So the first part of transparency is, do you have a written document that talks about your quality expectations for the school district? And second, Do your occupants and stakeholders know what these expectations are? Then number 3 on this component of transparency here is all about accurate data. Are you sharing that information? Is the communication up to par with the stakeholders? So are you celebrating success and all the accomplishments? Are we acknowledging where we fall short so everybody is on the same page? The second term to talk about is accountability. And are we holding ourselves accountable as managers of the cleaning operation? Are you displaying your achievements, whether it be GBAC Star or SIMS, with your facility? Ultimately, the validation of what you are doing is going to help create the change of perception of the occupants. Have you explained the credentials behind some of these designations that you're receiving for your organization? One of my favorite things to see, Jeff, when I go out in public and I'm traveling around the country, is when a custodial professional has a badge on their uniform or a uniform patch that says, "We are certified, we have been trained, we have the knowledge and skill set to perform these functions." And that really empowers the individuals to make the right decisions on a daily basis. The third thing that we hear a lot about now is visibility. So, do you have day porters? Are people visible during the day performing the correct tasks with the correct tools at the right time? Individuals now that are inside of the facilities, they want to see things happening right in front of them. They don't want to just see a sign on the door that says this organization or this facility has been disinfected using these products. They need to see it. The next thing that they want to see on a daily basis are the tools and equipment that are being used. Are they kept up to the right standards? Organizations and employees that are using broken equipment or equipment that's filthy, the perception there, once again, is that the tasks aren't being performed correctly. You're using broken equipment to clean the facility. How clean is it really? So again, visibility with those couple of examples are key. And the fourth thing that I like to share with everybody is partnerships. You can't do this alone. There's so much traffic inside of the school districts. Kids will be kids. They're never going to typically take ownership over a school. They're not going to try to keep it maintained. There's always going to be challenges. We're seeing the labor shortages happening right now. And, as a school district, you want to think about partnerships as our fourth thing. So how can you work with your manufacturers, your distributors, to curate maybe the benefits of using the products, to share that information out to the stakeholders? Let them know why you're choosing to use these chemicals or this equipment to perform the tasks. Another partnership example would be partnering with industry associations or independent consultants that may be out there to obtain as much knowledge as possible. The only way to overcome these challenges, such as the pandemic, is to have the knowledge and skill set. Partnering with your administration, your executive team inside of the school district for a proper communication plan with your building occupants. But ultimately, partnerships are only going to help you become more successful. We should not be afraid to partner with our vendors and associations and consultants. They're there to help you become more successful. So whether it's, again, with the partnerships, whether it's using an organization like GBAC or SIMS or any other program that's out there, I put a lot of weight on partnerships.
Thank you, Brant. And with that, we hope that those watching this episode of Straight Talk, especially those in the education sector, can use this information and help create safe classrooms, both in perception and reality. It all matters.